We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hey, it's Chris Homestead the Hard Way. And we just wanted to show you, have some questions, and we're going to show you what we're growing this year and how much of it we're growing. We'll start right down here. We've got a row of tomato plants. And I can't remember how many of them. There's a bunch of them. But something we do down here that I don't know if they do everywhere or not. Traditionally, you plant some marigolds in with your tomatoes. And it's supposed to help with bugs. Honestly, I don't know if it does or not, but we've always done it. All the old people swore by it, so we do. Got a row of bell pepper and cayenne. We were a few short having enough to set them out. Got 2 rows of cucumbers that the frogs bit a little bit. I think they're going to make it, but it burns in. Gonna have 2 rows of okra when it's time to plant them. It ain't quite time to plant them yet. 2 rows of squash, a row of butter beans, and a row of string beans, which ain't enough to put any up now, to make sure I'm clear on you on that. That's not enough that's enough string beans and butter beans to have a few to eat when they're coming off. That's not enough to can or put up or anything like that. But that row of string beans, 2 days worth of them be enough for, well, you ought to better get enough off of them a day to eat that night. Then we got 15 or 16, 18 rows of corn. I think about a pound of seed corn, whatever that worked out to. And this is one garden. We're going to show you the rest of it in just a second. But I had somebody ask me about goat pens. And if y'all have watched this for a while, you probably heard me tell it before. We used to be in the goat business. We had goats before they were popular. We had a lot of them, a few hundred. And I used to be I used to raise goats for a living, kind of. He asked me a question about a goat pen. This is all we got. It's for Trevor's little old milk goats, but we're going to show you that. It might give you some ideas. Now this is Trevor's goat pen. He's got him a little mini homestead down here. Raised his chickens and got him some raised beds. And he wants to have some stuff that's his, you know. And they're in the shelter, won't come out before you can see them, but he's got 2, I know it's Buck and Doe, but around here it'll always be Nanny and Billy. But he's got 1 bred mini milk goat. I don't know if she's a dwarf or what she is exactly. They weren't popular back when we had goats, and I don't know a whole lot about them. But I just wanted to show you construction on the pen. And this works really good for these small goats. Now, I don't know what it would do. I think it would probably work pretty good for the bigger goats. That's 4-foot wire, 2 strands of hot wire on the inside. Those are light poles in the corners. They're small, the small end of the light pole. And of course the post moved a little bit when we pulled the wire tight. But you can zoom in and show you the corner braces. It really needs those on every corner. But this is not permanent. This pen's going to be made bigger. And there was no need to go through the trouble of building corner braces on it when we're probably going to take this front off and bring it all the way out to the garden and down around and everything else. But that's just one way to do it. In the old days, we put up a hog wire fence with the 3 strands of barbed wire on top of it and put the electric fence on the inside of it offset just like that. Now, the only problem with that is a hog wire fence, the holes in it are big enough that a goat can stick their head through it but can't pull it back out. The horns will get caught. And they'll crawl up under that electric wire and stick the head through the fence, get the horns caught, then get on the wire, and it's sitting there shocking them the whole time. And we have had it kill some. Goats are good at slipping through that electric wire. That's one of the reasons why you got to have some kind of physical barrier. But now they make, I think it's called horse fencing, but it's some kind of woven wire that's got a hole in it one size bigger than that. It's too small for them to get their head through. And then they got something called sheep and goat wire. That'd be a better choice. But the dog pen wire seems to work pretty good. You just have to figure out which one's cheaper. When we built this one, the dog pen wire was cheaper and already had half a row. So we used it. And I don't know how big that pen is. It ain't mighty big. You see the goats and it can't keep up with it, though. Can't keep the grass eating there. But they're small goats now. They're pygmies or dwarves or something. That's the Billy up there. And you know, we're down here in North Carolina where it gets hot, hot, hot. So that shelter's open for warm weather, and then we'll close it up for cold weather. We want to be able to get some air. All right, we're going to go up there and show you the rest of it. All right, we're back. This is what we got up here. And this garden is a little hard to tell how big it is, but it's fairly good size too. It ain't as big as the other one. And we've got some short rows because we're moving the path coming around the hog pen, and it used to come around, had to start coming around this way, and we ain't got all that straightened out. So we got 4 rows here that are shorter than they normally are. But we got some cabbage that we had to reset because the chickens ate them. We got a row of Brussels sprouts, a row of broccoli. There's about 20-25 heels per row there. Then we got a row of cabbage. It's probably at 25-30 on it. Then we got a row of collards, which we'll sell a head of collards every once in a while. And there's probably 50 plants on it. Thinking, I ain't counting. Don't hold me to it. Might be 40. I can't remember what about. Then we got got 3 rows of field peas, 2 rows of watermelons, and a row of potatoes. Got some of the prettiest potatoes we ever had. Frost bit them a little bit too. But we've kind of been inundated with emails asking, how much do you need to grow? And I'm sorry about the wind, it may be horrible in the video. This is what you just saw is the majority of what we have. Now we have some little planters that we made, and we'll show you that maybe at the end of the video. But to have some like gold yellow bell pepper in them and some other little odd and mess, mint, cilantro, stuff like that. But this is the majority of what we got. Of course, we've got a pile of chickens. I ain't telling how many chickens we got. We were down at Trevor's the other day trying to count his and just give up on it. I don't know how many's down there. And we've got our laying hens, and we know we've got something like these. Are they buff? What are them things there?
Buff Brahmas.
Buff Brahmas. And we've been trying to decide what they're good for. I guess they're just looking at chickens. And Trevor said a couple 100 eggs the other day. I mean, we ain't got to worry about eating. But we've had a lot of people ask you, say, just how much do you need to eat? Well, you've seen what we've got. Now, I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. All that sweet corn down there, I don't think will be as much as we normally put up. I don't think. Now, I've planted that whole place in corn before and it was, but I don't think with half of it in corn is going to be enough to cover what we normally put up for the year. We're going to have plenty of Brussels sprouts. We're going to have plenty of broccoli. We're going to have plenty of cabbage and collards. We're going to have plenty of cucumbers. We're going to have plenty of squash. We're going to have plenty of bell pepper. We're going to have plenty of okra. Corn might be a little short. We're going to have plenty of field peas. Like I said about the string beans and butter beans, that's not enough to put any up. That's just enough to have some while they're coming off, you know. And there's a trick or two to keep them coming off. You can go in there and ply them or side dress them and put some more fertilizer to them. They'll start back making after they quit. The watermelons, if nobody don't steal them like they did last year, we'll have plenty of watermelons. Potatoes, that's not enough for the year. But the problem we have is we're in North Carolina. It's hot. It stays warm in the winter. Nobody has a basement. Nobody has a root cellar. The way we used to do with them is we go put them under them cedar trees and cover them in pine straw. And they kind of keep all winter. Well, now they won't do it. They'll rot. So they won't keep. We don't have anywhere to keep them, and they won't keep that long anyway. So there's no need to plan a year's supply because unless we can them, and don't exactly know how to do that. That's never been anything anybody around here done. And we've seen some videos on it, but it ain't nothing we know how to do effectively. So they won't keep all year anyway. But maybe that'll help you a little bit. A lot of people have asked us. I've had some emails and several people asking me questions on how much do you really need to grow if you're trying to feed yourself. And I think that might help you some. I feel like we're not covering it as good as we need to, but maybe that'll help you a little bit. And I appreciate you watching. I want you to understand something we've said at the end of the last few videos. If you're in town, if you don't have that much room, whatever's going on, you know, if you can't grow everything you eat, you can grow some of what you eat. If it's a goal you want to set for yourself to grow some of what you eat, go for it. You know, I know that I know how it works. There's people gonna poke fun at you if you got a few little raised beds and you ain't really doing nothing. And we run into the opposite problem. There's people that act like with all this land we're got in a garden that we're wasting space or something. They don't realize that we got to grow something to eat. Our goal is to grow our own food. Now we've got that covered meat-wise. We've got enough livestock that we don't have to worry about meat. But I think me and some of these old farmers are sitting around and talking about what they had when they were growing up, when their family had to feed itself, a family of 6. You know, 4, 5, 6 kids and 2 adults, and maybe feeding the grandparents too. And about 3 acres keeps coming up as a round number. They used to have an acre of sweet corn by itself. And that's not counting the fact they used to eat field corn. They used to would put roasting ear corn. You always hear people talk about roasting ear corn. That's field corn. It ain't exactly sweet corn. They go pull the young ears of field corn and bake it in the oven, roast it. Potatoes. A lot of people grow this whole garden in potatoes. And it takes more than you think it would. But if you can't grow all of it, grow some of it. And remember, you'll never get it done sitting on the couch. You'll never apply a field by turning it over in your mind. And we'll talk to you later.